What's up, everyone? It's Hey John, and today I want to discuss Bitcoin, and I want to share with you guys some unbelievably good news that you want to see, and this is what you want to know because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to make some bullish money in the cryptocurrency market. And this is how, and this is why, and I'm going to give you all the rationales so you can understand and make your own decisions. Yellen says high inflation locked in for the rest of 2022. I expect the economy to slow. Treasury Secretary says, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what this means? It means that inflation is donezo. That means that we are no longer in a economy where we're, oh my God, is inflation going to keep on rising and keep on going up and up and up and up? And that means uncertainty. Now that we know that inflation is now going to be donezo, going to be taken care of, this means that we can now focus back on creating and doing things. And this means that the stock market can say, okay, well, if inflation is done, then that means that the rates that will increase will also start to taper. We may still see rate hikes, but we will not see the unexpected 50, 75 basis points, etc. It'll be something more manageable, something more predictable. And this means that the Fed can say, okay, cool, we finally knocked away the inflation. We swatted away by increasing rates because we're the big bad Fed, and that's fantastic. And now I want to explain to you guys why this is going to be the turning point. And from here on out to the end of the year until early next year, you are going to start seeing some increased buying pressure in the crypto markets and the stock market. So let's go ahead and start off today with Bitcoin, because this is the market leader. They are the dominant, they are the big honcho. And I want to use history as an example, and I want to zoom out and give you a high level projection of what's going on. And as they say, history doesn't always repeat itself, but it sure rhymes. Okay, folks, so here we are looking at the Bitcoin charts. You're thinking, hey, John, why are you looking at Bitcoin? You never cover it. Well, there's a reason why I never cover it, because it's never interesting. But now we're seeing something unbelievably interesting. This red line here is a 200-day weekly moving average. And you can see, as of right now, on the weekly time frame, you can see the candlestick has pierced down below the 200-day weekly moving average. And now I want to go back in history and see when it has done this as well. And you can see currently the stochastic RSI, the RSI MACD, we're all negative territory, and it looks very bleak. So now I want to zoom in a little bit and show you guys a little more detail of what's going on. So the first time this happened, where we saw the 200-day weekly moving average get broken down below it, and the following week it started going green and it started to move on up. So from there until about 6 months time, that's about a 200% increase, folks. Okay, 200% increase. And you can see very similar technicals. You can see right here, folks, the RSI and the MACD pointing down to oblivion. And now there's one more time in history where we did it again. So over here on November 19 of 2018, same thing here, folks. RSI all the way down, MACD all the way down. It tapped it, and boom, once you go here and check it out, for the next half year, you are looking at about a 200% increase. Now I want to fast forward and go back to the future, which is the current time today. So you can see right here, folks, we're seeing a similar pattern here. So this means that in the coming week, which is next week, starting June 20 of 2022, if we go increase by 200% for the next half year, we're looking at about, the price of Bitcoin should be at around $52,000. And I project that this will be the Bitcoin price by the end of the year. So with that being said, my Bitcoin prediction using history as a resource says that we are in a similar situation twice in the past. The difference is that back in those days, we would see Bitcoin fall over 85 to 80%, but this time is a little different only because we know that institutions now hold over 10% of the Bitcoin supplies. In the past, well, there was not as much Bitcoin being held by institutions because it was still a very volatile asset and it was not really quote unquote legit. But now we're seeing it moving more mainstream, and now we're seeing tons of people buying. And for the past 3 days, we've seen an intense amount of buying and selling pressure. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the beginning of the nice movement until the end of the year. Glassnode. The last 3 consecutive days have been the largest USD denominated realized loss in Bitcoin history. Over 7.325 billion in Bitcoin losses have been locked in by investors spending coins that were accumulated at higher prices. So what this means is that people are just selling off and they're saying, okay, you know what? I cannot take the pain anymore. So let me just take my losses and move on and buy something else because Bitcoin's a scam. I'm over it. I've lost so much money. I'm over crypto. Forget all of it. But understand that in a sense, that feeling, that emotion in a way is capitulation because of the uncertainty that, oh my God, inflation is rising. On the backdrop that, okay, Bitcoin is affected by macroeconomic developments in the US government. And even though we know that Bitcoin is crypto and it's supposed to be, well, as they say, a store of value, it's supposed to be the anti-US dollar. But understand that when you go and exchange your Bitcoin, what do you exchange it for? US dollars. It isn't the other way where you go to a store and you go, here you go, here's some Bitcoin. No. You give US dollars. And when you on-ramp onto an exchange and move it into your account, what do? You sell your Bitcoins into US dollars and you transfer that via ACH to your bank account, US dollars. But of course, this could be any fiat currency depending on where you are in the world. I'm just speaking from the American USA perspective. Now, I do understand Bitcoin and crypto still looks a little bleak right now, but I can tell you guys, woo. But if we can see confirmation starting next week and 2 weeks following that, oh my Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, look for 200% gains at the bare minimum. This means that if you're buying at, say, $19,000 of Bitcoin, that means you're looking at $60,000 in Bitcoin by near the end of the year. And I want to give a few reasons and rationales as to why I believe that this can and will happen. Because when you increase rates, guess what? That isn't very popular for the current sitting US president. And understand that the Fed, the US government, it's all political based here. And what does the current president want to do? Well, they would like to win the mid-elections so they could sit another 4-year term on the US presidency. So going into midterms, you're going to see increasing rates, recession, yada, yada, yada. So we will see continuing of rates possibly increasing, but at a lower, much lower rate. And then come mid-year elections, you're going to say, okay, you know what? It's time for the current president to bring out the hero card saying, hey, you know what, guys? I know you're hurting, so let me lower some interest rates and let me give you guys an injection of liquidity so you guys can all feel rich again. So when you go to the polls, you will vote for me, the current sitting president of the United States of America. So if you understand these biases and you understand these political agendas, well, folks, these stories, these narratives, these rhetorics, it becomes a lot more interesting. And then you start understanding, hey, these headlines, that's what it means. And this is how you make big bucks in the cryptocurrency and stock world. Just on Friday, I moved all of my money into stocks from cash. So right now, I can be hurting hard starting next week, or I can be sitting pretty. And of course, I don't expect any of you guys to do what I do. I'm just sharing with you guys what I did. And I don't give details because I don't want to lead anyone to believe certain things. Please understand and do some research, and you may just see what I see. And this can be a very incredible and pivotal point in your investing career. This could be the day where your life can start to change. And for the better, I might add. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you all on the next one. Shh.